Hi friends, welcome one and all. Today I have the first chapter of Maharashtra State Board 12th Standard. The name of the chapter is An Astrologer's Day. So let's start. And before we start, please do not forget to like, subscribe and comment on my channel Expressophilia. Hit the bells icon to receive future updates. Let's start. An Astrologer's Day. This is afternoon time when the astrologer has laid all his charts and a dozen of cowrie shells and has painted his forehead with the sacred ash. He wears a saffron turban and is all ready to grab the attention of his customers. He keeps a long beard to give himself an enigmatic look so that the people are comfortable and they could come to him to get their fates read. The astrologer is seated beneath a large tamarind tree where the market is full of fraudulent characters, cheap clothes, same fried food stalls which are luxuriously named as Bombay ice creams. The lights are flickering and dancing from a dozen sources, but the astrologer still prefers the municipal lights. The astrologer prefers indirect light because he never aspired to be an astrologer. He does not know too much about the stars than that of his customers, and thus he has an ear to the problems and a knack for guessing, and that's how he has been running his business for so long. The astrologer once had left his village because he was under an impression that if he would have stayed back, he would have resembled his forefathers who had worked, married, and died. Thus, he did not want to live the same life, and so he fled the scenes. All these years of working, the astrologer had formulated a pattern of understanding that human problems were related to a few small petty issues such as marriage, money, or messy human affairs. He would first listen to his customers for a few minutes and then add up his cosmic wisdom, which would be cut copy pasted from various experiences that he derived while sitting there. However, he would also add it to the cosmic symbols and the positioning of the Saturn and extract money from his customers. By the end of the day, as he has blown all the lights and has packed all his items ready to leave for the day, his eye catches a man standing far away, which he thought could be a prospective customer for him. Thus, the astrologer calls for the man. However, the man is in no mood to get his charts read by the astrologer. So the stranger resists. But because the astrologer presses him, finally the man steps in. However, there is a deal put in wherein the man states if the astrologer is able to convince him with his future, he would be paying him a fistful amount. However, if he is not able to satisfy the customer, he will pay the man back, to which the astrologer agrees. The man gets seated and the astrologer lights the lamp. In the light of the lamp, the astrologer now could see the man's face clearly, and identifying the man, the astrologer gets uncomfortable and wishes to vanish the scene. However, the man is in no mood to let the astrologer go because he now wants his money or wants to know the fate. The astrologer is now fearful and tries several different tactics on the customer. But the customer does not give in. So, the astrologer now enchants a small prayer and informs the customer that few years back he was stabbed to death. The stranger is now filled with enthusiasm and convinced about the astrologer's cosmic wisdom. He inquires that he has come here to see or find his murderer. The astrologer replies that he would not be able to find his murderer, as to his disappointment, his murderer had been killed or crushed down under a lorry a few months ago in a nearby village. He also adds that the murderer has not got a dignified death, and so Guru Nanak should not worry about him. Hearing his name, Guru Nanak now is stunned and baffled. To which the astrologer adds that it would not be a good idea for Guru Nanak to stay in the village for a new venture anymore, because it may be dangerous for him. Listening to the astrologer's advice, Guru Nanak quickly gets up and hands over a fistful of coins to the astrologer. The astrologer keeps the coins, and the last shaft of the green light has also vanished for the day. It is midnight when the astrologer reaches home. His wife and daughter are waiting for him, while the wife is still angry until she sees money. The astrologer is resentful that Guru Nanak had underpaid him for his fortune telling. However, the wife remarks that her husband seemed troubled. While lying down at night, the astrologer states that a heavy weight from his heart had been lifted up today, because the man who he thought he had murdered long time back was seen alive in the village today. Hearing to what the astrologer revealed, the wife was astonished and shocked. Dismissing the wife's reaction, the astrologer states that this was merely an act or a folly of his youth. So this was an astrologer's day for you all, students. I hope you liked and enjoyed the lesson. Thank you. Please like, subscribe and comment on my channel Expressophilia. You can also email me at expressophilia@gmail.com. Thank you. Have a good day.